But this is super slow for some reason. All right, let's see. All right, I think we're recording. Cool. All right, guys, welcome to this Wednesday training. Today we are going over chapter 2 and scroll number 2 of the Augmandino book, The Greatest Salesman in the World. Well, anyways, what I do want to do is recap chapter 1 real quick, if you guys are catching up. So this real rich guy, Hafid, tells his bookkeeper.
Hey guys, if you're not presenting, you should be on mute.
Yeah, it's all right. I'll mute everybody. It's all right. If I don't, well, actually, you can hit that side. Oh, here you go. Yeah. Anyways, so this big boss guy, he says, hey, I want you to liquidate all my riches. The bookkeeper's a little taken back by that. And this is in chapter 1, right? And he doesn't quite understand what's going down. And I'm going to mute everybody here. I think maybe not. This is so slow. What's going on?
There we go.
All right. And so, anyways, and he also tells his bookkeeper, "Hey, take $50,000." This was chapter 1. And one of the things, real quick, in chapter 6, I don't know if you guys covered last week. Excuse me, chapter 1 on page 6. This guy tells his bookkeeper, he says, "Hey, I've always counted on your friendship as my greatest asset. What I now bestow to you is of little measure compared to your unending loyalty. You have mastered the art of living not for yourself alone, but for others. And this concern has stamped thee above all as men above men." So he's really saying, hey, like, dude, you've just been serving everybody. You're super awesome. And anyways, I think that kind of sets the tone for much of the rest of the book. So anyways, in chapter 2 of the book, Aramis, the bookkeeper returns like, hey, I did everything you wanted me to do. We're all done with that. And Hafid takes him up to this tower, opens the door, he goes in there, and there's this chest, and this chest has been guarded like for 30 years, right? No one's ever been in there. Everybody has like ideas of what it's all about. And he goes and shows this guy what's in the chest. And in the chest are these scrolls. And so anyways, he's telling him like, this is how I made my riches. I was, told to, do certain things. And anyways, I think he said he's going to start looking for somebody as well. Hey, Carter, could you turn that off, buddy, for a second? I think. So that's where the story leaves off. And so we get into chapter 3. They're going to go into that tomorrow, but it's going to go into the history of this guy. But so here we are. And then we also asked you guys to jump to we're kind of taking 2 parts of the story here. Or we just should jump into those scrolls. And so I don't want to be the guy who talks the whole time. So I really want to get your feedback on the second scroll. And I know some of you might not have the book. You guys are just jumping in here. But if you guys would, I want you guys tell me some takeaways that you guys have here from the second scroll. Go ahead and unmute and kind of, anybody want to go? Because I got all kinds of stuff to say, so you don't want me talking the whole time.
Yeah, we want it to be like a book club. Let's be interactive.
Yeah. Why is this lagging?
Who's going to go first?
I know Eric does.
Oh, I love scroll 2. It's all like, I mean, to me, it's like, how do you separate yourself in the marketplace? What is it about us that's different than, the next guy who's peddling some weight loss thing? It's because we care. Because we actually, we want to bring people on. We want to see them succeed. So greet this day with love in my heart. It's just a really interesting way to kind of frame your day and kind of how you're going to look at everybody that day.
Mm-hmm.
No, that's good, man. That's good. Anybody else? Misty, what about you?
I only read, I didn't know that we were skipping into the scrolls, so I'm
sorry. No, you're okay then. You're all right.
I haven't read any of the scrolls yet. I would totally have said something.
And all
No
you
worries.
guys that don't have your picture up, I'll still call on you. So if you don't have your video on, I may ask for you guys to participate. I know your tricks. I know the tricks. All right.
I have-
Anybody else?
Yeah, I do. Are you there? Can you hear
One of
me?
the things that I give you guys a hint real quick here. Whenever I read a book, I highlight the crap out of it because there's so much juice in these books, and not just this one, but any book. And so one of the things that spoke to me is and this is always, even going back to when he talked about the scrolls. Oh, goodness gracious. He said, the scrolls contain basically how they want you to be, right? And he used a way better word than that. And I'm trying to use, I think I highlighted it, of course, but no, I'm trying to find it on the, oh gosh, forget it. I'll screw it up. Anyways, the one that stood out to me is, how will I speak? I will laud my enemies and they will become friends. I will encourage my friends and they will become brothers. I will always dig for reasons to applaud. I will never scratch for reasons or excuses to gossip. When I am tempted to criticize, I will bite my tongue. And when I'm moved to praise, I will shout from the roof. And you think about it, guys, like that's just one part of it. But who's going to follow us? Are it the people who see us and we're, jerk faces, or are the people that see us and they see our heart at all times? And if we're always trying to be like that, like, yeah, I would love for you to coach me, or yeah, I would love to be a part of the organization and have you mentor me as a coach. If you're that way, you want to be that way, you want to be that person.
One thing they had talked about, because we are in the Augmendino leadership group training after Rise Up that we signed up for, and there's like a few different ways that you can approach a conversation. One is always starting the conversation with "I love you." Talks about it in this chapter.
In your heart.
In your heart, yeah.
Yeah.
You're not just going to go up to a stranger and be like, "I love you." That's a little weird.
Yeah.
But that's in your mind how you want to start the conversation, so that you don't go in with any prejudgments. If you're not quite there yet, then it's, I want to love you, right? Like maybe there's something about this person, whether it's the way they approached you first or whatever the case may be, you think in your mind, I want to love you. And that's going to help set the tone for that conversation. And then if someone really did you wrong, it's, I want to love you. And hopefully you never have to get to that point, but it really sets the tone to have better conversations that don't lead down a negative path. And I know that's changed some of my dynamics of conversations, especially with people, well, at least in my corporate world, and maybe conversations with people I didn't necessarily love. But if I went into it with, I love you, I automatically didn't get defensive when I started a conversation with them, because I'm going in with an open heart, kind of changing my perspective of them.
Just imagine what would happen if we did that in our marriages, huh?
I do that too. I have to work a little harder for it some days.
I love you.
Hey, so I know some of these folks don't have their books yet, Andrew, and
Yeah.
I was just, I kind of wanted to frame up this story for you guys, 'cause especially for you that haven't ever heard of this book. Like, it's a book that I would have passed up on a bookshelf like many times, because it's called The Greatest Salesman in the World. And what do we say all the time? We're not selling, right? But there's a lot more to this than that. And I hope that you guys will give it a chance and understand that these scrolls, honestly, to me, what it is an instruction book for how to live above the line. We talk about being above the line in our business, and just knowing how to be above the line in all areas of our life. And that's really what this is about. I mean, it's self-development. It's not about how to knock on a door and get a sale, but that's the result when you start following these principles and you kind of make them your own. I know Laura had something to say a minute ago. I wanted to hear what she had to say.
So I love this scroll. This is my favorite scroll. And
I don't see her
I don't see her.
can
anymore.
you hear me? No? Hello?
I can hear Laura speaking, but maybe you guys can't.
No, we don't even see her on here.
I
I'm
can
over
see.
here. I'm
Oh,
over here.
wow. We must be, I'm just lagging. Again, Comcast internet, guys, don't do it.
That's all right. Laura's going to talk. I'll give you guys a thumbs up when she's done.
Okay. All right. Anyway, I love this scroll. I don't know. Some of you may or may not know. I work in retail full time. And when we were given this assignment in Habit Finders, or when we had this scroll, I really took that. Every person that you come across, start with, the I love you inside, where you say that. And I'm telling you, this is what I was talking about last week when I was saying this is a magical scroll, because the difference in my interaction with people that I didn't even know, just that immediate, I mean, it changes your whole body language, your face, your everything. And it's like people were like, I had a million best friends that day, like that, just like starting that day. And it's like, it's just so, I don't know, it's really, it changes how you feel about things. I think I come home a lot more energized when when I'm in that place. And it's just it really works. I don't know. That's why I call it the magical scroll, because it definitely is like, it's really cool. And I think people really honestly feel that. So anyway, that's all I had to say.
Awesome. Thanks for sharing, Laura. I just chimed in to let you guys know Laura's done, since she's apparently
Yeah.
invisible to you guys.
I literally not on screen.
Laura just said, you guys can't even top it. I wish I could tell you.
Debbie
You
wants
missed
to
it.
go next. Debbie, go ahead and unmute yourself.
I just love how God has been coordinating so much for me. And in a women's Bible study that I'm doing, we're talking about our mind. And that touches so much with everything that we're learning. And in here, where he's talking about welcome the obstacles, for there are challenges, and then never will I allow my heart to become small and bitter. Rather, I will share it, and it will grow and warm the earth. And so I like how we can take so many things, whether it's a Bible study, whether it's our business, and still incorporate all of these things, because it's about being the better you. It's about whatever you believe in, make that your passion and share it, but just do it with a loving heart. And, I don't know all the right words all the time, but I'm going to just share. And I know that the program worked for me, and so I can just share my own experience. And I think that's all that we need to do, is be able to just let that passion for what we believe in come out of our mouths, because we believe it in our head and our heart.
Oops.
I can see your mouth moving, but I can't hear you.
Just unmuted me. Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. And it's being authentic, right? Like Eric said,
Right.
we're salespeople, but if we speak from our hearts and our intentions are pure, then our conversations go a lot better than as if we're trying to get someone or sell someone. People can tell that. So if we're going in with the right mindset and the right heart, then you can't really say the wrong thing to the right person, or the right thing to the wrong person, right?
And I just had someone that I hadn't spoken to in 40 years from high school. And I spoke to him this week, and he said, well, the only reason that I reached out to you is because I knew you were an ethical person. And I mean, he's looking at me from when I was in high school. I said, oh, Lord, I hope I'm a much better person now than I was in high school. But at least my reputation in his mind was a good thing, not a bad thing. So it really does help that I put good things on my Facebook, and I don't have a lot of just junk out there, because he sees me through those eyes. But I'm enjoying the book. Thank you.
I love that. I love that so much. Awesome.
And that's
Anybody?
a good call out too, that your Facebook represents the person that you are. That speaks a lot
Well,
too.
it matches, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it has to. You can't have that that Facebook that is, it's all love and joy, and then they know you in real life and like, wow, you're a real dirtbag. You know, you don't want that, right? So it does have to match up, for sure. Jose, it looks like you muted yourself.
Hey, how are you? Man, the second scroll is super powerful. I mean, all the scrolls I've read them, and you know, actually, at one point in time back then, I did 30 days, each one morning, one afternoon, one at nighttime, every day, because it's just embedded in your mind that this is exactly who you want to be. You know, as far as you know, the greatest salesman in the world. You know, Jesus was the greatest salesman in the world. You know, he wanted us to be like him, and I love that because. You know, it says we talk about, you know, love is the sun. Remember, love is the sun that warms our bones. You know, love is the rain that cleans our spirit. You know, just stuff like that. You know, it's just kind of like you want to be different, and I did everything in order to become part of this and change my community and change what I used to be, from a biker to a badass to this and that, and I didn't want that because it wasn't serving me. It wasn't serving my family. It wasn't serving me as a person. And I love who I am because of Optivia, because of people like you and Andrew and everybody on this call. Just so many beautiful people. And that's how we should love. We should love genuinely and love that neighbor, you know. That's how we're supposed to love, you know. And I think if we act, like I say, act in the now, you know, as far as love is concerned, then that's gonna come in, you know, as far as our future, you know. So
Yeah.
that's
Anything like expecting anything, just giving, right? It's not a when you like expect something back. Love without
Expectation.
Reciprocal.
Thank you, Michelle.
Hi, hopefully you guys can hear me. The service at soccer practice isn't that great, but you know, one thing that I really wanted to touch on is obviously, like Laura, I love this scroll, mainly because if you think about it, love is our greatest weapon. And, you know, especially when, you know, people may reject us. I mean, how many of us have been rejected, whether it's through connections that we make, people turn us down. But one thing I think is that love is what's going to soften that rejection or kind of that relationship as you start to, you know, get to know someone and actually build that relationship. That love that you inspire or that you aspire other people and that you put on other people is what's going to soften them. Let's see, another thing I think too is, you know, obviously as we love ourselves, you know, and we get to, you know, respect ourselves is how we can, you know, once we love ourselves, that's when you can really love other people. So I think one thing is, you know, it sounds kind of weird, but it's like every person that I meet, I just kind of silently say, you know what, like I love this person. And, you know, even if I don't know them yet, or they may be weird, that's okay, you know, because regardless of what people go through, you know, everyone deserves that love. And I think that everyone really deserves the best in people. And so as you kind of work with people, you start to really build those relationships with people, utilize that love really is our greatest weapon. I think not just in coaching, but in life. You know, even when people reject us, because that's always going to happen. But more than that is that rejection is going to soften as you just continue to just love on them and just continue to build that relationship with people, you know, because that really is what develops people as far as when they're always looking for the best for themselves too. So I personally love that scroll. I think it's really powerful as we, you know, get the concept of obviously love. We all know what love is and we've all felt that. But I think, you know, obviously this business is about loving on people, you know, and loving ourselves too. Oh, did I freeze or are you guys frozen?
Well, maybe they're frozen, but I heard you. Looks like Andrew and Cindy might have froze up.
They did. They got to get some
Good,
new internet,
good.
man.
Let's-
That internet in Colorado, I'm not sure what to think of it.
I know, right? Well, I just scrolls, man. I guess like some of you, especially if there's new coaches in here, might be like, "What in the world? Like, what are we talking about tonight? Like, what is this all about?" And I guess as a guy who's been coaching for just about a year myself, like what I have seen is people that I've brought in a program, like I've seen their lives change. You know, I've seen people be able to play with their kids that weren't able to before. I've seen people, you know, recover from medical conditions and situations that were really bringing them down, and just seeing people blossom, including myself, right? And my buddy Andrew, he brought me into this thing. But these scrolls, they're kind of they're putting that in perspective, because if you really, like Michelle was saying, like everyone deserves to have a chance. And I don't know if you can say this. I don't know if somebody who's selling scented candles, no offense if any of you guys are selling scented candles, but like, can they really feel this way about what they're doing? I mean, do you guys recognize that with this program, we can literally make people's lives better? And like, it's kind of a superpower. So when I read this scroll too, to me, that's just like, I don't care what this person's politics are, or their religion, or their ideology, or whether or not I like how they dress or how they look at people. All I know is if I brought them into Optavia, I could change their life for the better. And then maybe they could change someone else's life for the better. So to me, that kind of encapsulates what this whole book is about. And I don't know if Andrew and Cindy came back, or if we should wrap it up, Michelle, or if anyone else has
I
more
don't
to
think they
add.
did. It switched me over to the host, so I think their internet just died on them.
We booted them
But yeah,
out.
kind of just like, am I cutting out?
No, I was joking
Oh.
about we booted them out. Go ahead, you got the floor.
Okay. Oh, they just joined right now. But yeah, no, I think like, just like Eric said, like this book isn't necessarily about being the greatest salesman, because we know we're not salesmen. It's really about being the best version of ourselves and portraying that onto other people, to really not just obviously build a business, but to build the people, because you guys, people, you build people. That is the whole beauty of this business, is we're not building a business, we're building people, and people build the business. And so it's really inspiring as far as, hearing everyone's takeaways. But that's one thing that I would encourage you, as far as, as even if you haven't started on the book, that's okay. It's not too late. But really practice those scrolls, because, reading, yes, the story ties into it as well, but those scrolls are really are words to live by. And as far as the people that we want to be, so that's kind of what I have as far as that. And I think they came back, so I'm going to kind of see if they their internet works now. Andrew and Cindy.
I don't know what's going on with our internet, to be honest with you. I got people
We are
calling.
back then.
Yeah, we're under our own name there, but so
Colorado.
It's Comcast.
yeah,
We're
right.
not.
I don't know what's going on.
It's those Rocky Mountains.
It's rocky internet. The one thing I have before, there's two things. The last sentence, right around the last sentence on page 62, it says, "If I have no other qualities, I can succeed with love alone. Without it, I will fail though I possess all the knowledge of all the skills in the world. I will greet this day with love in my heart, and I will succeed." So basically says, like, look, it doesn't matter how many skills you have. If you don't love anybody, if you don't have it in your heart, you're going to fail, period. I do believe that. I believe if you got an agenda, if you don't really have a care for your clients, whether before they become a client or after they become a client, you don't love them, you don't want to help them succeed, then your business will fail, and they'll fail if they don't have your help, the proper help. So anyways, we'll wrap that up. I can't see everybody like I was earlier, kind of do, but anyways, I'm gonna let Cindy do the wrap up here, because we got about 4 minutes left.
Yeah, so let's talk about closing up the month really strong. So first and foremost, this week Andrew and I started the what do we call? Oh, Power Hour. I was trying to figure out what we called it.
Hour.
So 7 a.m. Mountain Standard Time, 6 a.m. Pacific Standard. We've had quite a few people trickle in this week, which is fantastic. It is a great time to be really intentional with your business. We've had some great conversations come out of it. A lot of good questions with people popping into Power Hour. Eric has shared some great information in terms of how he started conversations with people. So if you guys are looking for ideas, or just looking for some time to be really intentional and really create that really good habit, then I encourage you to join, because it really is like a study hall. And if you have no other time during the day to work your business, it really is great intentional time where you can focus. And you don't have to join for the whole hour. If you join for 15 minutes, where you're literally starting conversations and friending people for 15 minutes. That's 15 minutes more than maybe what you would have done. Also, make sure you're following up with anyone that you've done a health assessment with. That's always good. We're nearing on Friday, but you don't have to wait until Friday to follow up with people. So make sure you're doing that. What else? What else do we want to close the month out strong?
Yeah, really up your conversations. I mean, up your posts and up your, listen, I mean, in all honesty, we say close the month strong. You should be closing every day strong, because whatever you do 2 months ago is what's going to affect today. Whatever you do today is going to affect 2 months from now. So if you haven't done anything all month and you're trying to close the month strong, it might be too late to close the month strong. Like, you needed to do the work ahead of time. That's everything we do. We're planting the seeds for tomorrow. We're planting the seeds for tomorrow. There are going to be people that see you today and like, I want to do this today, but that's a very small percentage. Most people need to chew on it and see and trust and see what kind of person you are. So it's the long game. It's always the long game. It's just how this business works. It's how trust works. And so I know Debbie said earlier today, there's an automatic trust because that guy knew her from 20 years ago. So there's that thing that was already planted a long time ago. Same thing. You're meeting new people. You're planting seeds of trust. So do the work every day. Of course, finish the month strong, but I think every day needs to be finished strong. It's not just at the end of the month when you do all the work. Do that. Your business will not be, and you won't reach a lot of people. So, yeah.
No, absolutely. I totally agree. And that's also the benefit of Power Hour, is you guys have that intentional time in the morning. And I know some people who are joining are very strategic with how they're using their time first thing in the morning. I know Eric mentioned this morning that he's using the time to start conversations. His front line dropped a little bit this month as people reach their goals or what have you. So it's all about starting conversations in the morning. So whatever it is that you struggle with, it may be a good thing to join so that you can work on that one item that you struggle with a little bit. But you're right. It's not ending the month strong.
No,
it's really just doing the work every day so that you have a strong ending to your month.
Yeah. And that's even goes with us real quick. Like, I mean, we're not immune to it. Like, even we are using this Power Hour for our own accountability, because even I've been complacent, and it's reflected our bringing on new people. So it's for everybody. Not just anybody that's starting new, it's everybody. And we even need to keep ourselves accountable. So when we heard this from Novelli's, we couldn't wait to do it, because even if it's Cindy and I just on there by ourselves, at least we're putting our work in that we need to do. So yeah, that's it, guys. So cool. 6 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. I usually put a link in Our Healthy Family and First Five. So yeah, I try to remind everybody every morning. So if you can make it, great. Maybe in a week or so, we put on an evening one for people who can't do the morning, so we can hit everybody. But yeah, that's it, guys. Thank you for jumping on.
Yeah, other than that, your homework for this week is to read chapter 3, scroll 3, and they will talk about it next week.
Can I add really quick?
Yeah, go for it, Misty.
So I've been doing the Power Hour for Monday and Tuesday, and just the feel of how I've set my day up has been phenomenal. Like, I feel like I am setting myself up for success for the whole day. It just runs through everything. I'm still working full time, and it's just helping me get that. So if that's the only reason why you get in there, then it's worth it. It's worth it. That's all I'm saying.
Misty, that's such a good point. And for those of you, I know a lot of people, you work, there's different things going on. Like, use your own time and set up your own Power Hour, your own Power 15 minutes, Power Session, we call it. And it makes a huge difference. Like, I've gone and done some like recreational stuff for the last couple of days, because I literally got more done in 30 minutes to an hour just being really intentional about my business than I probably would have done just kind of moseying around the house and following notifications around. I go in there and I'm starting a bunch of conversations, and then I can continue those conversations throughout the day. They're already set up for me.
I love it, man.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right, guys, we're going to end the meeting. Thank you for jumping on. See you guys. Well, Michelle Bamba will probably lead you next week, but yeah, read those scrolls and chapter 3.
Next week, actually, Rachel Richards will be leading.
Sweet.
If you guys haven't heard Rachel, she's incredible. So she's going to be leading next week.
Yay.
Awesome.
Awesome. All right. Cool.
Bye, guys.
Bye.